Have you ever noticed that some people become successful long before they ever make a lot of money? Think about that. Before the awards, before the recognition, before the big house, before the applause, there are signs, quiet signs, invisible signs, signs that tell you a person's life is changing, even when nobody else can see it yet. And here's the truth that most people never understand. Success doesn't suddenly arrive one morning and knock on your door. Success leaves clues. Success sends signals. Success gives warnings before it gives rewards. And if you stay with me until the end of this message, you're going to discover the 7 signs that success is getting closer to your life. You're going to understand why your struggles may not be proof that you're failing. They may actually be proof that you're growing. You're going to leave with a new perspective, a stronger mindset, and a practical way to start moving toward the future you deserve. So don't listen casually. Listen carefully, because one of these signs may already be happening in your life right now. I want to tell you about someone like you, someone who had dreams bigger than their circumstances. Every morning they woke up with hope. Every night they went to bed with frustration. They worked hard, they tried, they failed, they got back up, then failed again. Months passed, nothing changed. Years passed, still nothing. The people around them started moving forward. Friends got promotions, family members bought homes, others seemed to be winning, and they felt stuck. Have you ever felt like that? Be honest. Have you ever looked around and wondered why everyone else seems to be making progress while you're fighting the same battles over and over again? You know that feeling, right? That feeling when you smile in public but struggle in private. That feeling when you tell people you're okay, even though you're carrying disappointment in your heart. This person reached a breaking point. One evening they sat alone, no music, no television, no distractions, just silence. And in that silence, they asked themselves a question. What if success isn't something I find? What if success is someone I become? That question changed everything, because most people chase success. Very few become the kind of person who naturally attracts it. And that's where the first sign begins. The first sign that success is getting closer is that you start taking responsibility for your life. Not excuses, not blame, not complaints. Responsibility. Most people waste years blaming the economy, blaming their childhood, blaming bad luck, blaming other people. But the moment you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I do about it? Your life changes. The moment responsibility enters your life, power enters your life. Because if everything is someone else's fault, then your future depends on them. But when you take ownership, your future returns to your hands. And that is powerful, very powerful. Success begins the day excuses end. Not because life becomes easier, because you become stronger. The second sign is something most people misunderstand. You become uncomfortable with average. Now be careful. This isn't about thinking you're better than anyone. It's about refusing to stay where you know you don't belong. Something inside you starts waking up. You start looking at wasted time differently. You start looking at your habits differently. You start looking at your potential differently. The things that once entertained you begin to bore you. The things that once distracted you begin to frustrate you. Because deep inside, you know you're capable of more. And average no longer feels comfortable. Have you noticed that lately? Have you started feeling restless? Have you started feeling like you're meant for something bigger? That feeling isn't your enemy. That feeling is growth. That feeling is your future calling you forward. Most people run from discomfort. Successful people learn from it because growth has never lived inside a comfort zone. Every breakthrough begins where comfort ends. If you're still here listening to this, type "I'm still here" in the comments, because we're just getting started. The third sign that success is coming is that your circle starts changing. This one is difficult, sometimes painful, sometimes lonely. You begin to notice that certain conversations no longer inspire you. You notice that some people only talk about problems. Some only talk about gossip. Some only talk about why things can't be done. And little by little, you realize that who you spend time with affects who you become. You cannot build an extraordinary life with ordinary thinking. You cannot create a positive future while constantly surrounding yourself with negativity. Eventually, growth demands change. And sometimes that change involves the people around you. That doesn't mean you stop loving people. It means you stop allowing their limitations to become your reality. The truth is simple. If you spend enough time around dreamers, you'll start dreaming bigger. If you spend enough time around achievers, you'll start achieving more. If you spend enough time around people who believe anything is possible, you'll begin believing it too. Environment matters more than most people realize. The fourth sign that success is getting closer is that you start valuing discipline more than motivation. This lesson changes everything. Most people wait until they feel motivated. They wait until they feel confident. They wait until they feel ready. But successful people understand something different. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. There will be mornings you don't feel like working, days you don't feel like trying, moments you don't feel like continuing. That's normal. That's human. The difference is that discipline keeps moving when motivation disappears. Anybody can work when they feel inspired. Champions work when they don't. Anybody can push when conditions are perfect. Leaders push when conditions are difficult. The future belongs to those who continue after the excitement fades. Pause for a second and ask yourself, do you really want success? Or do you just like the idea of success? Because there is a difference. A big difference. Everybody wants the reward. Few people want the responsibility. Everybody wants the victory. Few people want the preparation. Success doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to those who stay consistent long enough. The fifth sign is one of the strongest signs of all. You start learning from failure instead of being destroyed by it. This is where many people quit. One mistake, one rejection, one disappointment, and they give up. But successful people view failure differently. They don't see failure as proof they should stop. They see failure as information. They see lessons, feedback, direction. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than most people are willing to try. The difference is they kept going. Failure is not the enemy. Quitting is. Failure teaches. Failure strengthens. Failure prepares. Failure reveals weaknesses that success would have hidden. And every setback contains a lesson if you're willing to learn it. Some of you watching this right now are discouraged. You've been rejected. You've been disappointed. You've been overlooked. But what if those experiences aren't stopping you? What if they're shaping you? What if your current struggle is preparing you for your future success? Think about that. Because the strongest people are often built during the hardest seasons. The sixth sign that success is approaching is that you become obsessed with growth, not perfection. Growth. You start reading more, learning more, thinking differently. You stop trying to impress people and start trying to improve yourself. And that's a major shift. Most people spend years trying to look successful. Successful people spend years becoming successful. One focuses on appearance. The other focuses on development. Growth becomes exciting. Learning becomes exciting. Improvement becomes exciting. Because you realize that every day you become a better version of yourself, your future becomes stronger too. You no longer compare yourself to everyone else. You compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And that changes everything because comparison steals confidence. Growth builds confidence. Comparison creates frustration. Growth creates momentum. The moment you focus on becoming better instead of looking better, your life begins to transform. And then comes the seventh sign. The sign separates dreamers from achievers. You start believing in yourself before the evidence appears. Now listen carefully. This doesn't mean arrogance. This doesn't mean pretending. This means developing faith in your ability to grow, faith in your ability to learn, faith in your ability to overcome. Because if you only believe after you see results, you'll quit too early. You must learn to trust the process, trust the effort, trust the preparation, trust the person you're becoming. Every great achievement starts as an invisible dream. Before anyone else sees it, you must see it. Before anyone else believes it, you must believe it. Before anyone else supports it, you must support it. Because the world often responds to confidence, and confidence begins with self-belief. If you really want to change your life, write "I'm ready" below. Not because typing words changes anything, but because commitment matters, because decisions matter, because the life you want begins with the decision that you're no longer willing to settle. Now I want to challenge you. For the next 7 days, do something simple. Every morning when you wake up, stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and say, "I am growing every day. I am becoming stronger every day. I will not quit on myself." Then write down one action that moves your life forward. Just one. Not 10, not 20. One. And before you go to sleep, ask yourself, did I keep my promise today? Do this for 7 days. No excuses. No negotiations. No waiting for motivation. Then come back and comment. Day 7 done. So I know you're serious. So I know you're not just listening, you're acting, because information doesn't change lives. Action changes lives. Knowledge doesn't create success. Applied knowledge creates success. And as we close, I want you to remember something. Your past is not your prison. Your mistakes are not your identity. Your failures are not your future. The chapter you're in right now is not the entire story. There is more ahead of you than behind you. There is more possibility inside you than you realize. There is more strength within you than you've ever used. The person you want to become already exists inside you. The confidence, the courage, the discipline, the determination, it's already there. It just needs to be awakened. And that begins today. Not next week, not next month, today. Because life rewards action. Life rewards commitment. Life rewards those who refuse to quit. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for certainty. Move. Take the first step. Then another. Then another. Because one day you'll look back and realize that success didn't arrive overnight. It arrived through daily choices, daily effort, daily growth. And when that day comes, you'll understand that the signs were there all along. If this message spoke to your heart, subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together. Share this with someone who feels stuck, someone who feels discouraged, someone who is close to giving up. And when you're ready for the next step, watch the next video on this channel. Because your story is not over. Your breakthrough is not over. Your growth is not over. And your greatest days may still be ahead of you.